Good day, class. The last time we talked about phonological process, I am still Miss Amechi. So, I just want to start it from the beginning and then we proceed. Okay, so for this topic, we are looking at phonological processes. Okay, so we have seen that the phonetic circumstances that accompany the articulation of phonemes in different environments are called phonological processes. What does this mean? This means that when you realize a particular phoneme as something else, it is as a result of the other phonemes which it has occurred with in a word, in a syllable, in a morpheme, in a particular environment. Okay, now we have different phonological processes in English, some of which include assimilation. We have talked about assimilation before. In assimilation, we are looking at a phonological process that involves a sound taking up the feature or features of another sound in the same environment. So assimilation could be progressive, it could be regressive. Progressive means to move forward, regressive means to move backwards. So if it is a progressive assimilation, that means there is a particular phoneme that is looking at the phoneme that comes immediately after it, moving forward. But if it is regressive assimilation, we are looking at a particular phoneme and it is considering the phoneme that was behind it, the phoneme it came after. So if I have TANKS and I am looking at K as the phoneme in question, and I am talking about progressive assimilation, I am looking at K in respect with S, the S after K, all right? But when I'm talking about, when we are looking at regressive and we are still looking at TANKS, we still have our phoneme K, all right? And in regressive assimilation, it is looking at the phoneme that came before it, which is N, okay? So we look at TANKS and we are looking at K. In progressive assimilation, K is looking forward to S. In regressive assimilation, K is looking backward to N. So that you understand progressive and regressive assimilation. Progressive assimilation occurs when a sound takes the features of the sound after it. For example, we have a man, A is nasalized. Why is it nasalized? Because it is looking at, it is a progressive assimilation one, it is looking at the phoneme that comes after it. A is a vowel sound. The phoneme that comes after it is N, a consonant sound and a nasal. And because this nasal sound comes after A, okay, we call it, and then A becomes nasalized because of the nasal sound that comes after it. We say that nasalization of A in man is progressive assimilation. We look at quick. Quick in the first K, because there are two K now. We have quick, all right? The first K is K. K. Okay, that is a velar plosive followed by W, a bilabial approximant. All right, because this first K is followed by W, when you are transcribing it, you have quick. The Q sounds K and W, K. So because of that, we find out that the W that follows immediately after K in and ko, okay, is a labial sound. It is a bilabial approximant. And as a bilabial approximant occurring with a velar plosive, its influence rubs off on the velar plosive. Okay, now we now say that velar plosive k occurring with w has become labialized. For instance, when you want to say quick now, okay, if I wanted to say k, only k, the shape of my lips, you look at the shape of your lips when you want to say only k. But when you want to say ko, as in q, ko, all right, in quick, the shape of your mouth will no more be the same way it is when you are producing only k. It now becomes somehow rounded, taking the shape of a labial sound. Okay, so these lips becomes affected. When you're calling k, it is only the velum, which is the soft palate. But when you're saying ko, as in quick, you now find out that the lips becomes affected. And because of that, we say that k has become labialized. And see, when you look at k and quick, okay, when you look at k in quick, it is followed by w. So w comes after k. And so it is a progressive assimilation. K assimilates the features of w and becomes labialized. Okay, now that is progressive assimilation. And then we have regressive assimilation. In regressive assimilation, it is a sound that takes the properties of the sound before it. Okay, now we have mans. Okay, all right, a man. This is a sentence though. Let me start with the single word first. Okay, let me start with the single words. Here we have bags. We have bags. Bags now, these bags here that we are looking at, it's the S is the plural marker. Okay, it is a morpheme and it is a plural marker morpheme. The root word is bag. Okay, the plural form of bag is bags. Now S is added to bag to make it plural. Now this plural marker is S on its own. When you bring it out from bag, it is S. And when you look at the features of S, it is a fricative, it is an alveolar fricative, it is voiceless. All right, but then when it comes as the plural marker in bags, it changes. Why did it change? It is changing because the last letter in bag is G, and G is a voiced velar plosive. But S on its own is a voiceless alveolar fricative. So you notice the voiceness and the voicelessness. And because a voiceless sound has come in the environment of a voiced sound, it changes its nature. It assimilates. Let's put it that way. It assimilates the nature of that sound that it comes after, or the sound that comes before it. And so instead of saying bags, it becomes bags. Now, because it has taken the feature of voiced sound, okay, it will no more stay in that voiceless nature. It becomes a voiced sound. And the other voiced pattern of the alveolar fricative is Z. Okay, so that is why we have Z. It is a regressive assimilation. Regressive because it is taking the features, or it is assimilating the features of the sound immediately before it. Okay, that is regressive assimilation. Now let's look at the sentence. The man is here. I have called this sentence word by word. But this sentence, when you are speaking it in connected speech, you will say the man is here. Okay, the man is here. The man is here. All right. Now, because of that, this is now, okay, has been shortened. And because it has been shortened, and in this place, it attaches itself to man. And the last word, a man, is a voiced sound. The in is that has attached itself converts to z because it has assimilated the properties of a voiced sound. Okay, now we have this other one. What is it, or what's it? Okay, let's not look at the first one. Let's look at the second one. What's it? Okay, in what's it, all right, we have what is it. Now the is has been shortened, okay, to join itself with what. The t in what is a voiceless sound, so the sound, the shortness of s remains in its voiceless nature, and so we have what's it. Okay, that is for regressive assimilation. Now we look at another one, aspiration. So we have considered assimilation, we are looking at aspiration. Aspiration is a process that is peculiar to voiceless stops. So it's either you call them voiceless stops or you call them voiceless plosives. So it is peculiar to voiceless stops. So we have stops. There are 6 of them. P, B, T, D, K, G. 3 of them are voiced. 3 of them are voiceless. P, T, K are voiceless. So when we talk about voiceless stops, we are talking about P, T, and K. All right. So aspiration is a process that is peculiar to these 3 sounds. All right. When they occur first as the initial position of a syllable. So it is the interval of breath that accompanies the production of these voiceless stops before the following vowels, before a following vowel, okay, in a stressed syllable. Now, for example, when you have a syllable, okay, or you have a word, and that word is monosyllabic, or the word is disyllabic, or the word is polysyllabic. All right, in monosyllabic words, the word is stressed on its own if it is a content word. Okay, but if it is a disyllabic word, still a content word, one part of that word becomes stressed. One syllable in that word, that is 2-syllable word, becomes stressed. If it is a polysyllabic word, there is 1 syllable in that word that becomes stressed. Now we have apart. Apart is a disyllabic word, and part. So the part of that word that is stressed, the part of that syllable that is stressed, or the syllable in that word that is stressed, is called a stressed syllable. For monosyllabic words, they are usually stressed syllables. But for disyllabic word, one part of the syllable, one of the syllables is stressed. For polysyllabic words, one of the syllables is stressed. Now we have occasion. Occasion, a 3-syllable word. Okay, so in one of these syllables, one is stressed. Attack. So when we look at these words, the syllable in the word that is stressed is called the stressed syllable. Now, in aspiration, the voiceless stops, whether it is p or t or k, when it is followed by a voiceless when it is followed by a stressed vowel, Okay, the stressed vowel is that vowel that is in a stressed syllable. All right, so when it is followed by a stressed vowel, we say that that sound is aspirated. Notice that one, it will be at the initial position of a syllable. Two, it has to be followed by a stressed vowel. Okay, so that is for aspiration. Then we say when it occurs like that, we say that that phoneme is aspirated. So we can have aspirated p, aspirated t, aspirated k. All right, so the superscript h is used in the representation of aspiration. Okay, so when I say that the p is aspirated, I will represent it with p raised to power h, okay, in a square bracket. That shows I am talking about aspirated p. Okay, so that is for aspiration. Remember that in aspiration it has to do with voiceless stops or voiceless plosive, and then that these voiceless plosives must be at the initial position of a syllable. Okay, and then if they are the initial position of a syllable, they must be followed by a stressed vowel before you could say that they are aspirated. Now we look at labialization, another phonological process. Labialization is a process that accompanies the production of consonant sounds that are normally labial in the environment of labial sounds. Okay, so when you find out, remember that when we were talking about progressive assimilation, we made mention of labialization and nasalization. So as much as it is a phonological process on its own, when you are still talking about assimilation, you could put it there. So we have seen what labialization look like when there is a rounding of the lips accompanied in the production of a consonant sound that is not usually produced with the rounding of the lip. We say that that consonant sound so produced, it have been labialized. Okay, and labialization is represented with the superscript W. So the W you find here is superscripted. So if I write K, I will put it raised to power small letter W. That is showing that I am telling someone that that K is labialized. Okay, as in quick, queen, quiet, quit. All right, that is labialization. So we look at palatalization. In palatalization, the body of the tongue extends into the high front position. Okay, high front position, that portion called palatal, the palate. So we have the soft palate, we have the hard palate. In palatalization, we are looking at the hard palate. Okay, when the body of the tongue extends and looks like it is touching the hard palate in the production of a word that, of a phoneme that usually is not articulated in such manner, we say that such phoneme has become palatalized. Okay, in palatalization, it is accompanied with such sound as yeah. Okay, yeah. Now we have beauty. Beauty is spelled B-E-A-U-T-Y, as we can see. But now, when I call B, the E-A-U sounds you. Beau. Okay, it now becomes you. Beauty. Beauty. This Y that you have seen now is no more sounding ye. It's now sounding E. Okay, so we have beauty. Now, this E-A-U, all right, the E-A, which are normally vowels, have now been converted to the semi-vowel here. And that semi-vowel here is a palatal sound. Okay, it is a voice palatal approximant. So because EA, or because these EA that are vowel sounds are not palatal sounds originally, and they have assumed the nature of the palatal sound here, we say that it has been palatalized. So in few, we find the same thing. There is no E in the spelling. Okay, there is no Y in the spelling of few, Q, few, cute. All right, there is no Y in their spelling. But when they are being produced, articulated, we find f, ye, and u. So it becomes few. All right, and because of that, we say that that sound that has been changed to ye has become palatalized. So these are examples of ways where palatalization could take place. So we look at velarization. In velarization, there is the raising of the back of the tongue towards the velum. The velum is the soft palate. Towards the velum in the articulation of sounds that are not velar sounds. Okay, when I am articulating a sound that is not a velar sound, and then that sound that is not a velar sound occurs with a sound that is a back sound. It is either a back vowel or a velar sound. Okay, that sound becomes velarized. All right, now oo is a back vowel. U is a back vowel. O is a back vowel. Now when I am producing something and that thing, there is a particular phoneme and it begins to co-occur with a back vowel, that sound becomes velarized. For instance, m is not a velar sound, it is a nasal sound. But when m occurs with u as a moon, the m becomes velarized. Okay, so when you want to call moon, okay, moon, the tendency of the sound going into the velum or coming from the velum is there, and so that m, a moon, has become velarized. Okay, you can make other examples for yourself. Now we have devoicing as another phonological process. Devoicing, this involves a voiced consonant losing its voice quality because it is occurring in an environment of a voiceless sound. Okay, so you know what we said before when we were converting bag to bags, okay, in regressive assimilation. But in devoicing here, all right, that regressive assimilation, you could find out that the sounds come towards the end of a word. But here in devoicing, the sound somehow comes at the beginning, at the initial position. Now we have plait, plat. P is a voiceless bilabial plosive. L is a voiced alveolar lateral. So the voiceless bilabial plosive and the voiced alveolar lateral come together. Now this voiced alveolar lateral on its own is voiced, and P is voiceless. Okay, but when P and L come together, the L loses its voice nature and becomes voiceless. For that reason, we say that L has become devoiced. The same thing happens in pride, pride, where you find R. Okay, R. R is an alveolar row, a voiced alveolar row, or a voiced alveolar trill. Some people still call it lateral. Okay, so this voiced sound becomes devoiced because it has occurred with p, a voiceless sound. So in this place, we say that the phonological process of devoicing has occurred. Devoicing is when a voiced sound loses its voice nature because it is occurring with a voiceless sound, usually at the initial position of a word. All right, now we look at weak syllable deletion. In weak syllable deletion, we remember when we were talking about stressed syllable, okay, and that the vowel that occurs in a stressed syllable is a stressed vowel. Now, in weak syllable deletion, it usually happens with an unstressed syllable. Okay, in an unstressed syllable, we have an unstressed vowel sound. Okay, so most often when we produce a sound or a word, you find out that if it is more than one syllable in that word, one particular syllable takes the stress. All right, so the ones that don't take the stress are called unstressed syllables. The one that take the stress is called stressed syllable. Now, in family, you can have family. So in family, we have am. Then there is this schwa sound. That schwa sound is the shortest of the sounds in English language. So it is the weakest of the sounds. So in that place, when we have, you could divide the stressing of a syllable into primary stress, secondary stress, and no stress. Okay, so let's look at this family that it has 3 syllables now. Family. Now the primary stress falls on fa, that is the stress syllable. The secondary stress falls on li. Now ma, okay, is the no stress on, so that is the weakest syllable. Now weak syllable deletion says that weakest syllable, the syllable marker or the syllabic feature of syllabic qualification, which is the vowel sound, is deleted. So when we delete that schwa sound that should have represented the I in family, okay, the sound becomes, or the pronunciation becomes, family. So when you hear family, it looks like there is family, but it is not family, it is family. There is a weak syllable that has been deleted. So that is another phonological process. Now we have vowel reduction. Okay, vowel reduction still has to do with the same, the schwa sound, the weakest sound in the English language. So some vowels are reduced to the schwa sound in continuous speech, and it happens mostly with grammatical words. Okay, grammatical words involve pronoun, conjunction, preposition. Okay, now we have examples here. At. All right, and. So in vowel reduction, the strong quality is reduced to a weak quality, okay, using the schwa sound when you find it in continuous speech. Let's say you are gisting, and then the gist is very entertaining, or would I put it that way? Okay, and you become enthusiastic, you just keep flowing in your talk. You can't come at a place and say, okay, I went to the school at. No, I went to the school at. So that and at becomes reduced. So we have at, we have and. All right. So that is what happens in vowel reduction. Remember that it usually happens with grammatical words. Okay, so in this situation, some vowels are reduced to their short form in continuous speech. That is another phonological process, vowel reduction. Okay, so that is it for the phonological processes. So we have, under phonological processes, we have assimilation. Under assimilation, we have progressive and regressive assimilation. We have aspiration. You could also tell that in aspiration, we could have aspirated, unaspirated, and unreleased. Okay, we will meet it while we progress in this study. So we have labialization, we have palatalization, we have velarization, we have devoicing, we have weak syllable deletion, and we have vowel reduction. That is it for phonological process. Thank you.